A Meowy Christmas. "Look, Father, it's snowing!" Pinocchio exclaimed. The little boy gazed out the window at the twinkling village, now covered in a blanket of snow. This was his first winter as a real boy. So far, he loved everything about it. "I guess that means it's time we got ready for Christmas," Geppetto told Pinocchio. Figaro, the kitten, wove between them, purring. He was so excited about Christmas. The next day, Geppetto and Pinocchio went out and bought a Christmas tree. Then they started to decorate. Geppetto placed his Christmas trinkets around the workshop. Pinocchio hung bows and strands of garland on the walls. Soon the workshop was filled with holiday cheer. "It's time for Christmas, Cleo," Pinocchio told the pretty goldfish, who leaped in excitement while Figaro pranced around the room playing with the decorations. That evening, Geppetto and Pinocchio hung stockings on the mantel. Figaro jumped at their feet. He wanted to help too, but he couldn't reach. "Great job, Pinocchio," Geppetto said as he stepped back to admire the handiwork. He nearly tripped over the active kitten. "Figaro, be careful," Geppetto cautioned. Figaro hung his head. He had just been trying to help. Finally, it was time to decorate the Christmas tree. "Wow, Father," Pinocchio said. "It sure looks pretty." "All that's left is to put the star on top," Geppetto replied. "Pinocchio, you do the honors." Figaro frowned. He wanted to put the star on top of the Christmas tree. With the workshop decorated, Geppetto set about making Christmas Eve supper. He wanted to share all his favorite treats with his new son: stuffing, potatoes, cranberry sauce. Soon the aromas of herbs and spices and Christmas cookies filled the air. "Ah, it smells good in here," Pinocchio said, carefully mixing the potatoes. "Yes, and now it's time for the—" "Figaro!" Geppetto scolded the kitten, who was about to take a bite of the Christmas goose. "It is not time to eat just yet." Feeling hurt and left out, Figaro crept to the bedroom. He would spend Christmas where no one could find him, under Geppetto's bed. But as he trotted to his hiding place, he noticed something awful. Under the bed was a large pile of presents, and not one was for him. Just then, the kitten heard Geppetto call, "Figaro, Cleo, we'll be back soon. Be good and don't eat the food while we're gone." First, Geppetto hadn't gotten him any presents, and now he and Pinocchio were off to have a Christmas adventure without him. That was the last straw. If Figaro couldn't enjoy Christmas, he didn't want anyone else to either. When the door closed, Figaro clawed the wrapping paper on the presents to pieces. He sped around the workshop, batting at the decorations. He even leaped at the Christmas tree, knocking all of Pinocchio's carefully hung ornaments to the ground. Cleo gurgled at him to stop, but Figaro wouldn't listen. Just as Figaro was about to sink his teeth into the Christmas goose, he heard the sound of someone small clearing his throat. It was Jiminy Cricket. "Now listen here, Figaro," Jiminy said. "The Blue Fairy is none too pleased by your behavior, and who knows what Santa thinks? How will Geppetto and Pinocchio feel when they come back and see what a mess you've made? Is this what Christmas is all about?" Figaro looked down ashamed. He knew Jiminy was right. "Luckily, it's not too late to make things right," Jiminy continued, "and I'm going to help you." Figaro licked Jiminy's face gratefully, and the two got to work repairing all the damage the kitty had done. They rewrapped the presents and spruced up the tree. They also redecorated the room. Figaro even added his own holiday decorations. Soon the place sparkled and twinkled brightly, looking as holly and jolly as a Christmas card. "Not too shabby," Jiminy observed with an approval nod while Cleo did a happy twirl. When Geppetto and Pinocchio returned from their outing, they were amazed. "Wow, Figaro!" Pinocchio cried. "This place looks wonderful!" Geppetto agreed. "In fact, I'd say you've earned your Christmas present early." And with that, he showed Figaro what he and Pinocchio had gone out to get. Fresh cream! Figaro was overjoyed. Pinocchio and Geppetto hadn't forgotten him after all. Later that evening, as they all gathered around the table for their Christmas Eve supper, Figaro sighed happily. He had learned his lesson. Christmas wasn't about gifts or being the one to hang the decorations. It was about spending time with family. And there was nowhere else he'd rather be. The end.